Hi, it's Dominic from the MSguide.com. I'm an MS patient of 28 years. Touch Independent Medical Education has asked me to give them a patient's view of the highlights of ECTRIMS this year. ECTRIMS being this really massive medical conference that happened in Amsterdam a few weeks ago, and it's easily the biggest MS conference in the world. I was there, and I'm going to try and use what I learned to share what I think is important for patients. So my second takeaway from ECTRIMS, my second point if you will, is the fact that when you are diagnosed, and I had it, everybody I know has had it, the first thing you want to know is, doctor, what's going to happen to me? And today, MS has pretty much been treated with lagging indicators. So when I was diagnosed in '94, there was very little. The interferons hadn't been released or were just being released in the UK. And there was very little that a doctor could say to you reasonably. It was a bit sort of, well, we'll just have to watch and wait. But these days, technologies are coming, and they are right on the they strike me as being right on the edge of clinical adoption, and they will enable doctors not to give a perfect answer about X and Y is going to happen, but they will enable a doctor to say to a patient, it looks like the most probable thing is the following. And what I mean is, I would like to know how disabled I'm going to be, roughly when I'm going to be that disabled, etc. But the things that are allowing doctors to do this, and this is what came out in ECTRIMS, is the blood biomarkers. So things like neurofilament light chains, for example, can start to give insight as to what's coming as opposed to what's happened. AI and MRI, and there's been some fantastic work in this field, really harnessing the power of computers, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all these different things to train computers to look at brain scans, because computers don't get tired. Computers don't need coffee. Computers do the same thing again and again and again. And sadly, as human beings, we have all these foibles, which means sometimes computers are better at this. Now, I'm not suggesting they replace neuroradiologists and neurologists, but they're incredibly powerful. Call them decision aids or decision guides or whatever, but the computer knows from looking at all these MRIs and knowing the patient outcomes that A is likely to be B, and I gather it's about 80% certainty right now. So I, for one, am looking forward to the adoption of standardized AI analysis of MRI to help the doctors and neuroradiologists give the patient, which is who it's all about, people like me, people like my friends, a better answer about what's likely to happen. Nothing's guaranteed, but it's really nice to get some insight into distinct possibilities. So OCT is probably the third one, and I'm struggling with this and asking a lot of people, optical coherence tomography. And for people who haven't had an OCT, it's like staring into a supermarket barcode checkout machine as far as I'm concerned. But it's really looking at the retinal nerve layer, the fibers around the base of one of the largest nerves, the optic nerve, coming into the eye, and it's a measurement over time. Right now, as far as I can see from reading the papers, correlations can be very firmly established. I'm not sure how much it's going to enable people to look into the future, but you've certainly got AI and MRI. You've got the blood biomarkers like neurofilament light chains, which can be done really simply and quickly in clinic. And then you've got OCT, which is a specialized sort of neuro-ophthalmology, stroke ophthalmology type thing, and that's liaison, again, with the neurologists. But all those three technologies, to be able to say to a patient, it looks like with this combination of stuff, this is likely to happen. I don't expect black and white, but boy, oh boy, do I enjoy somebody saying this is likely to happen. Then I can plan my life. That's really important. Everything else from ECTRIMS, it was incredibly cool science, and it was really just invigorating to see how much work is being done and all the incredibly clever people who are turning their minds to making ultimately the lives of patients like me and other people better. So thank you very much.